Hey, it's 2 days after Valentine's Day, and I hope by now the wounds have healed. I wonder if that might be the case for this very unfortunate man who we saw going viral on TikTok the other day. Olive, did you see that video of the man who proposed to his girlfriend?
Oh, yes, I did.
And,
the one who proposed at cafe. I think that was Caramel Cafe. Yes.
And she unceremoniously turned him down.
I saw that.
That was very sad. The man collapsed into a pool of tears.
Oh, dear.
And everyone was feeling sorry for him and were castigating the girl for her reaction. Now, we don't know who she is and we don't know the circumstances of their relationship, but I had a theory. Don't you think a lot of times when especially these public wedding proposals are done, they're usually done behind the context of a man worried that he's going to lose the girl. And so the more extravagant the display of affection, it usually masks a dysfunction in the relationship or some desperation on the part of a man who is trying his best to keep the girl. Hence why doing it in public. Because when you propose to a woman in public, there's some sort of social pressure for her to say yes.
Exactly. And I am happy you're saying that because it is kind of narcissistic in nature when men decide to propose to girls or women in public. It's like, if you can't say yes to me in private, I will have the public pressure you into saying yes. Because as was the case in that video, the people in the restaurant kept saying, say yes, say yes, say yes. And I'm like, why do men keep doing this?
Right. But also, we live in a world where, let's just say, not everyone is honest. And I've mentioned this before. A lot of girls do entertain their options. They have a number of men they're speaking to and might be enjoying different levels of intimacy. Some more casual or more serious than others. And so to put a girl on the spot with a proposal like that, you essentially ruin her market. So that the guy she may have been flirting with, talking to,
the guy she likes
is going to see that video and be like, oh. Is that what's going on?
Exactly.
Is she that kind? Oh, so she's been having this guy behind my back the whole time. So he's now most likely going to cut her loose.
Yes.
And all the others who were also on the roster.
So to save face, she's going to turn down the engagement and, of course, try to sever whatever she can with the guy that she likes. But also, I know for sure that some guys do not really have this conversation of marriage extensively with the woman, or maybe she has shown in their private conversations that she's not ready, and he thinks that if I go and do a grand act of proposing, she's going to say yes. But people have options. They have things they want. They have times of readiness. And probably sometimes this is what happens. She's not ready.
Can I just say that when a girl says no, or when a girl says she's not ready, it usually means she doesn't like you. I'm not sure I buy the argument of, maybe she needs to think about it some more, because if she really cares for you, she could say yes. I mean, being engaged is not a commitment
that we are going to get married tomorrow.
Exactly. It's a commitment. An engagement is a tentative
It's a promise, yes.
To get married to someone. So if it means that during that time you're going to discuss the issue more and explore all of the issues that might be related to marriage, you can do that while still being engaged. And if at the end of that period you feel like, well, we realize we don't see eye to eye,
you can break the engagement.
Break off the engagement.
Yes.
Breaking off an engagement isn't a crime.
It is not, and it has been done time over. People should pick notes from Jennifer Lopez,
right,
and many other celebrities that have done it. But I also feel, and I agree with you to a degree, that if a girl loves a man and cares about him enough, she would not reject him and humiliate him in public. She may accept the ring when she's not ready, and then when they are like away from the public eyes, she will be like, I'm not ready. She can even give back the ring, but away from the glares of the public. You turning down an engagement and throwing the flowers and walking away, it means you don't love that man.
Clearly,
Simply put.
which is why my working theory is that probably the relationship was on its last legs. Probably it was already ending or
and
about to.
It's that thing we were talking about sometime this week where guys have not been doing something and they know that this is what the woman wanted.
Like taking her for granted?
Taking her for granted. Maybe she wanted marriage and you've dated her for 5 years. I saw this video on TikTok where this guy proposed to his woman when she was driving without even a box. He's like, you wanted a ring, it's here. She's like, what? I don't need it. I don't want it. I think in that moment she realized that she has been asking for something from the wrong person, that she doesn't even want to be with him eventually.
So it's a last-ditch effort to keep her from leaving.
Exactly.
Sometimes. And of course, if you put her on the spot like that, it will not end well.
But for me, my advice to young men out there or men that are in love, I think you should steer clear of proposing in public, except if you have talked about it and your woman wants it.
I don't even think you should do proposals like those grand gestures or events. Just have a conversation about it. Just the two of you together at a lunch or at a dinner or at a coffee or even at home.
And then,
just say, hey, I think we need to get married. What do you think? And if she says, yeah, I think that's a good idea too. Then maybe you can go for a celebration after that. I feel like that's a safer way of doing it.
Yeah.
And it allows you to iron out all your differences and anxieties.
And
any issues can be raised.
That's right.
And then by the time you're coming out to say to the public you're getting married, it's like you're all...
Everything is under control. And it is the African way. We are used to African men telling us, tell your people to give us a date. Baganda men just say, tell your Senga that we are coming. Senga is the girl's paternal aunt. And then you go to your Senga. That means he wants to marry you. So you go, you take her later to your Senga, which later the Senga takes to your father, and then the father gives you a date.
I think we need to go back to doing it that way because marriage proposals are actually fairly new. Even in Western culture, it was not a common thing. If you saw a girl and wanted to marry her, you don't tell her. You go and talk to her father. Oh, sir, I am such and such an individual from such and such a family of such and such social background. I would love your daughter's hand in marriage. You explain your agenda. And then he says, okay, let me get back to you. And then he goes back, talks to the girl, and it's like, hey, we've received an offer of marriage for you. He is this person. Do you know him? Yes. Do you like him? Yes, Daddy, I do. Would you like to marry him? Okay. He seems to check out. Good family, good job. All right, daughter, you have my blessing. And then it's decided.
Is that how it is done? Or he first asks her to marry him, and then she's like, yes, but you will also have to ask my father for hand in marriage.
I'm saying what I described is how it used to be.
Oh.
Now it's more of how people do it. They agree amongst themselves, or they pledge to get married, then they go seek the approval
of the parents.
Which can create problems where the parents may not agree.
Oh, he's not a Muslim, he's not Catholic, he's not a Muganda, he's not a Mnyankole, he's not a Langi. You know, there is a manner of reasons why you can be rejected by a girl's family.
So let me ask you this. Let's say you liked a guy. How would you like to be proposed to? What's the ideal way?
I want it to be private. It may not even be in our house or in our bedroom, but let it be intimate in the sense that I do not have... First of all, why are you disturbing everyone's peace in a restaurant? Because you're proposing. We can't be at a dinner table. We are eating in good music. Everyone is minding their business. And then you can propose to me. You don't even have to go down on your knee.
But don't you think men have been led to believe that this is what women want? Because normally it's not uncommon to see women sharing videos of what seem to be very romantic wedding proposals, right? Or if you have a girlfriend, she may even tell you a story of a friend of hers who got proposed to, and she'll be talking about it as though it was just the most amazing thing a man can ever do. So so this conditions men into thinking that to propose to a woman, you have to go big.
No, this is what you miss. I may talk to you about how it was so sweet and romantic when my friend was proposed to, because first of all, I'm in love with the idea of a proposal. not in love with the idea of how her man did it. It can be nice for them, but try to find out, what does Olive love? Me, I like private things. Me, I like things that are intimate. And then there are people who like to go all out, have the attention of everyone. And then this is the other thing. I've seen proposals at, let's say, Seziwa Falls, where the lady is wearing a gown, like a couture gown. And deep down, I'm like, okay, is that really a surprise proposal? Where you have a gown, where there are photographers, where there is decor. Really?
So you're saying it looks too staged?
It looks so staged. I've had stories of women who ask their men to make it look like a surprise.
At some point, I think I won't be surprised if women in Kampala in particular start organizing their own
I think they
proposals.
do. They do. They are already organizing their own baby showers and making it look like the baby shower is a surprise. They are doing these things. I don't know about Rema. But you see what I'm saying is make it a surprise and don't make it about everyone. Why should everyone else be in my business, my friends, my family, and I don't know? Like everyone else knows that apart from me. Even in that video, the friend was all well dressed for the occasion. The girl was in just a pair of jeans and a top and sandals. She was pretty much not ready for that moment.
So do you think she would have said yes if she
was ready?
Was ready?
No, I think she doesn't love the guy. The way she threw the flowers, the way she walked away, I would not treat a man I love like that. I wouldn't.
So do you think that's going to cloud the views of men who are looking at that video and saying to themselves, you see, guys, you see, this is what they do.
No, men should
this
propose.
This is how they do.
Men should propose, but unless you know your person and you're sure, do not do it in public. Don't make a spectacle because you're going to... There is nothing that hurts like seeing a man humiliated.
And you can bet he's never going to do something like that again.
He can't. I know a friend, one of my lovelies, a guy proposed to her like that in front of his friends. First of all, she had conversations with him, telling him she was not ready to be his wife. Right. And then he goes ahead and proposes to her before all his friends. She accepted, took the ring. Then after some time, I think like a week, they had lunch and she was like, you know my stand regarding the marriage. So I'm going to give back your ring because I am not ready. But I didn't want to humiliate you before your friends.
Well, she was very, very considerate.
Yes. And I wish girls would do that.
But like, if you are the kind of girl that is maybe juggling different guys, of course, accepting the proposal would have made it look very bad for you.
If you're juggling many guys, no, you're not going to do it.
If you reject it publicly, you can tell all the guys on your roster, I don't even know this guy. He's some stalker.
Oh, God.
I've been telling him no, he just won't give up. I've called police, but all that kind of stuff. You know the stories girls will tell you.
But the other thing I think of is that these are the things we do as women when we are at our peak, when we have so many admirers. And then you reach your 30s and I'm not saying settle for less. No, I'm not saying that. But somehow this person who believes in karma, you may say no to a guy, which is fine, but if you humiliate him like that, I feel like it's going to catch up with you somehow. Eventually.
Because that girl is probably, at age 35, going to be saying, oh, men are not serious. Men just want to play games. And someone will remind her, excuse me, is this you?
And the internet doesn't forget.
There's a video of you here walking away from a guy who went down on one knee.
It's not even about walking away from the guy. I was like, okay, was the throwing away the flowers necessary? Was the whole storming?
Wait, she should have walked with the flowers?
I don't know. As in, just accept the ring and return it tomorrow. Is that so hard?
I'm guessing that the patrons at the cafe were entertained by what they saw. They had many stories to share with their friends.
But how do you walk away from that?
Woo! Very painful experience. I hope he has supportive friends who took him out for drinks afterwards.
Or he ends up with a friend that had brought the girl with the blindfold.
Why is everyone saying that?
She seemed caring. She actually seemed to be asking him, are you okay?
She could be
followed the friend.
A bestie.
Maybe sister, maybe.
Or sister.
She followed the friend and then came back to check on him. If she's just a friend, that is your future wife.
Well, I hope they cleaned up the mess after all the petals on the floor, because it ain't the restaurant's problem.
But also, you fat boy, why would you choose to propose to a girl in a crowded place like that?
And then people were also saying, look how he was dressed.
I know.
In fact, I saw a tweet where someone said, how do you propose? In fact, she's good. She was right to say no, because how do you propose to a girl dressed as though you are stepping out of the house to go to Oryx to buy alcohol?
And you knew that you're going to propose to her. She didn't know. So how she presented herself doesn't matter. But you knew. You had an idea. And Caramel is a good place, but I think it's not the kind of place where you want to pull off something like that.
Yeah, next time try Kafunda.
No!